So what were the comics that I picked up this week? Stay tuned to find out. All right, well, thank you for sticking it out with me. It is Wednesday, June 16th. You know what that means. It's New Comic Book Day. And before we get started, I'm going to ask that if you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button down below, smash that like button, and hit that notification bell to get those updates whenever I post new comic book pick videos. If you haven't tuned into any of my videos previously, these are my comic book picks. These are not reviews. I have not read all these books yet. I'm strictly just going to my LCS, grabbing the books that I want for various reasons, whether it be speculating, just like the cover, it's a great ongoing series, things like that. I'm getting those comics, purchasing them, getting back here, and telling you guys what I grabbed. And if for some reason you want to see more of the things that I like to collect, like statues, trading cards, just bought a bunch of omnibuses that I hopefully will be reviewing soon, you can check all of that out on my Instagram at MarkNerdyAF. All right, well, let's get into it. Let's start with our indies here as usual. First one I have is from Image Comics. This is the second issue of Time Before Time. Now I can easily say that this is one of my favorite recent indie titles that I've been reading. The premise is just outstanding. You have this one main character in the years 2040, I think, and nobody wants to live with what is going on currently in the time they're in. So you have this crime syndicate, and this person works for this crime syndicate where they are taking people for a price to smuggle them back to, whatever time period they want to be in. They're time traveling with them and throwing them back into the 60s, 70s, early 2000s, wherever they want to be. And then ultimately you have the character thinking, oh, maybe I should just steal one of these pods from this organization I'm working for. And I'll stop there, but this story is great if you're not caught up on it. I mean, this is only the second issue, so now's your chance. I would highly recommend it. All right, next up, and most likely you already know I'm a big fan of this comic so far, is Berserker. This is the third issue, and this is being written by Keanu Reeves and Matt Kindt, and Ron Garney is doing the art alongside Bill Crabtree. Some quick background if you're unfamiliar. This actually started on Kickstarter. It was funded. Keanu Reeves wanted to make this comic book, had this vision, and then started working with Matt Kindt, and they produced this book. And yeah, it all started from Kickstarter. And afterwards, we ended up supposedly we're going to get a new Netflix animated series, a new anime series revolving around this Berserker story. And then we're also getting a live action movie, supposedly, starring Keanu Reeves. So there is a lot more that is going to happen with this title. I'm really excited for it. This book is perfect for me. It's extremely gruesome. There's not too much dialogue. Sometimes I don't want to read a shit ton of words on one page. I just want to see a lot of action. Sometimes some goriness is always good, but this has exactly that. I'm going to recommend this if you're like me and you enjoy those types of things in comics. But yeah, check this out if it interests you. All right, on to Marvel. We have Miles Morales 27. This is, I believe, the second issue in the Clone Saga arc that they're doing. So who's doing this book? It is being written by Saladin Ahmed, and the art is by Carmen Canero. I'm not as familiar with those people. I did enjoy the previous issue and what they're doing with this Clone Saga, and it sounds like we're going to get the origin of the clones, where these clones are coming from, how they were created, things like that. If you're interested in Miles Morales and a decent story that's happening right now, this is probably the book for you. All right, next up is Weapon X and the Final Flight #1. This is one of those tie-ins to the Heroes Reborn series event, I'll call it, that Marvel is doing. I'm gonna tell you guys, I looked online. This is kind of getting bashed. That people are not liking it. So I don't know if you want to end up picking this up. It doesn't sound like it's going over well with a lot of fellow comic book reviewers. But yeah, I saw this Tony S. Daniels cover and I was like, yeah, it's kind of badass. I might as well check out one of these tie-ins. I'll get to reading this eventually. But yeah, just seeing some of these reviews have kind of turned me off of wanting to actually read this. But I'll see how it is. I'll form my own opinion. Just wanted to give you guys that heads up. All right, and the complete opposite, another Marvel title that is getting actually phenomenal reviews, is a story by Peach Momoko. This is the variant cover by, who's it by? Jen Bartel, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to say Jen Bartel. It looks like Jen Bartel. I'm going to go with that. But this is Demon Days Mariko #1. It is a complete creation by Peach Momoko. It is being illustrated by her and being written by her. And to give you a little bit of background as to what this is about, it is kind of a Japanese-inspired take on the Marvel Universe. It is unlike anything I've ever read. Obviously, if you've seen Peach Momoko's covers, you know what kind of illustrations you're going to get. And she really captures that anime type feel, that vibe. And I'm loving all of her work so far that she's gotten to do solo. She previously wrote a book about her take on X-Men and kind of put her own little spin to that, and it was amazing. I cannot recommend this enough. Make sure you're picking this one up for sure. All right, next up for DC, we have Legends of the Dark Knight #2. The first issue was great, you guys. Go pick that up if you get a chance. It should still be on the shelves. And in this issue, it sounds like it's going to be an important one because we're getting a first appearance of one of the allies you'll soon see of Riddler. I won't spoil the name. You probably know the name already if you read the first issue, but we are getting a pretty big first appearance for a new villain, it sounds like. So you might want to grab this just for that reason itself. I'm a big fan of this so far. Derek Robertson is the one illustrating and also writing this, and he's doing a great job. This, I believe, actually was supposed to come out like in April. It's been delayed, or maybe my shop is just getting this book delayed. So I'm only on issue 2. This is a 12-part, I believe, mini-series. And if you want to check it out online, I think you can actually read through up until issue 12. I think everything's out already. But as for physical copies in your LCS, I'm pretty sure we're just on issue 2. This is a good one, guys. Pick it up. Next up, and fair to say this was the most hyped book, as it should be this week, and that is Static Season 1. And this instantly gave me those Static Shock vibes. We have Static here, and I believe it even reflects kind of the Season 1 cover that they have. So this is really reminding me of that 2000s show that we got. It aired on WB, and it was a character by not only DC, but Milestone Media. And you'll see Milestone returns here. They're making it known. Milestone's back with this character that they created. I could not be more pumped for this. And I think this is a great cover, as mentioned. Really gives me those vibes that I had back in the 2000s watching this show. So I got to give this one my cover of the week. This is really exciting, you guys. It's going to have that nostalgic factor, I know, on a lot of people. And I wouldn't be surprised if this sells out, first thing today, most likely tomorrow for sure it's going to sell out. This is being written by Vita Ayala, and it is illustrated by Chris Cross. Also, Nicholas Draper Ivy. These two people are doing the illustrations. I was just going to say I'm not really familiar with this artist at all, but it looks like I would assume that these two artists, Nicholas and Chris Cross, did the cover here. And yet this is exactly what I want in this book. So don't miss out on this. Make sure you're picking it up. I would maybe even grab 2 copies, grab the A cover, B cover, whatever you want to do. This is going to be a hit. All right, last one up is Catwoman 32. There are a couple things happening in this that are going to be important to the story overall. But to be honest, I mainly picked this up because we have Jenny Frison that's doing an amazing cover B for this series. She has been doing a lot of cover Bs for DC so far, and they're on this nice cardstock cover. You pay an extra $1, but I think it's absolutely worth it. I'm going to be a little controversial though right now. While I do obviously really like the covers that Jenny Frison does, I would like to see more, different designs from her. It seems to me that she's always going back and doing the same exact thing that she's doing on each and every cover. And she has these really strong female characters, usually really iconic characters. She did Wonder Woman, the new Wonder Woman as well, Yara Flor. She did a variant for that, but they're always in the same pose. It looks like they're always just like from the mid leg up or torso up, and it's always kind of the same thing. And it has a cool splatter background to give it to it. But I would just like to see more. Let me know in the comments if I'm crazy, if you just want her to keep doing the same thing over and over again, because that's, to me, what it seems like. I want to hear from you guys if you are a fan of her art like I am. Maybe switch it up. Maybe have an extra few characters in this, not just have one front and center character on the cover every time. I want to see something different. Comment below, let me know what you think. But that wraps up my video, guys. So, you know what? If you haven't subscribed already, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to ask you again to do so, but you know, it just really helps the channel out. So I would hope that you're already subscribed, or you can just go ahead and do that right now and we'll pretend like this conversation never happened. But I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all of you guys that continuously check out these videos every week. And I guess I lied about that because the last 2 weeks or so I haven't put these out. Just want to let you know I had full intentions to put them out. There was just too much going on in my work life, in my personal life, weddings. Things are happening this year. It's an extremely busy year. It is a little bit harder to put out these videos as frequently as I would like, but have full intentions to keep on doing these videos. If you want to see something different, let me know in the comments as well. All ears. I'm completely open to recommendations from you guys. That's how this show, that's how this channel will progress based on what you guys like to see from us. Leave a comment below, hit that like, hit that subscribe. But until next time, Jumps out.